Salah, ritual namaaz, pooja prayer, or something much better. Salah. We are going to look deeply into Salah, but as an appetizer it means to follow closely like a run-up Masalli follows the winning horse, Sabiq, meaning to follow divine commands. Aqim as-Salah means to establish the system that facilitates the following of divine commands. Future videos will look into Salah timings, ablution, Qibla, but unless one has the right concept of what Salah is, nothing will satisfy the Bukharian ritual prayer partaker. Birds with their wings outspread. Salah of birds. Read the following and try to come up with a physical ritual for the meaning of Salah.
Do you not realize that God, He is the one whom all beings in the heavens and earth glorify, and the birds, with their wings outspread, as they fly in columns. All of them know their Salaat and Tasbih, mission and strife. God is aware of what they do to fulfill His plan. All creatures know their Salaat, their inborn divinely programmed instincts. So, they can automatically strive, do their Tasbih, in the best way. But humans are not programmed with such inborn instincts. Given free will, they must do their Salaat by following the revealed guidance and thus strive, do Tasbih, in the best way.
Prayer of man, asking the details. Can you imagine that at the time of the messenger he was presumed to be teaching a prayer ritual and nobody questioned where in the Quran this was? The answer comes in the Quran that unnecessary details would be a burden on humanity, and he did not put the details of a prayer ritual there, so the burden on the people 5 times a day is a self-imposed one.
O you who have chosen to be graced with belief! Do not ask unnecessary details of things, as the Israelites asked of Moses about the cow. This attitude may bring unpleasant consequences for you. But if you ask them as the Quran is being revealed, the minor details of ordinances might be given which will be hard for you to follow. God pardons you in this respect. 4. God is forgiving, clement. The general rule has been given that all pure and good things are permissible to you. Your questions are very clearly answered in the Quran. The Quran is for all times. And while the basic laws and principles remain immutable, minor details are intended to be flexible according to temporal and spatial requirements. This day I have perfected your religious law for you, completed my favor upon you, and chosen for you all Islam as the way of life. Some people before you asked such questions and then rejected the instructions.
The Salat of Shu'aib.
And to Midian, we sent their brother Shoaib. He said, O my people, serve God alone. There is no God for you but He. And do not give short measure and weight. I see that you are prosperous, but I fear for you a day that will surround you with chastisement. Any system based on injustice cannot endure. So, O my people, always give full measure and weight with equity and do not deprive people of what is rightfully theirs. Do not spread corruption and disorder in the land. That which God gives you as just profit is better for you if you believe, but I am not a guardian over you. They said, O Shoaib, we had thought that your religion was only a matter between you and your Lord. Does your Salat command you that we forsake what our fathers used to worship? Or, that we should give up doing what we like to do with our wealth and possessions? You, only you, are the clement, the rightly guided. He said, O my people, think again, what if I am acting on a clear evidence from my Lord, and He has provided me with a decent sustenance? I deal in all fairness and I shall never preach what I do not practice behind your sight. I desire nothing but reform to the best of my power. All my resources, abilities, and success depend on God alone. In Him I trust and to Him I turn with hope.
When Shu'aib went to his people, he did not teach them a new form of physical ritualized prayer, but a way of creating a just social and economic system. To stick to namaaz pooja prayers as salat is denying the context of the verses. The salat and zakat of prisoners.
But when the forbidden months are past, then fight and slay the pagans wherever ye find them, and seize them, beleaguer them, and lie in wait for them in every stratagem of war. But if they repent, and establish regular prayers and practice regular charity, then open the way for them. For Allah is oft forgiving, most merciful.
Praying and charity giving prisoners is the usual understanding of the verse. Let us think about this. These verses talk about the disbelievers who broke their treaty with the last messenger. The Quran says to give them a 4-month amnesty to stop their attacks on Muslims, and if they do not, then seek them out and punish them. If they genuinely repent and promise not to cause unrest, then the Quran says allow them safe passage and they must agree to uphold the salah. Non-believers are asked to uphold salah. If salah means the ritual prayer, then how can the Quran ask them to pray like this? Salah must mean something other than prayers. The concept of salah is to follow closely. So they are asked to adhere to the terms of any treaties that they agree to. If they break this truce, they will pay the consequences. Likewise, we Muslims should be adhering to the principles and laws of the Quran, and our consequences of failing to do so is to end up in hell on this earth as well as after Judgment Day. In order to adhere to the laws and principles written in the Quran, we must read and understand it on a regular basis, hence the need for communal salat where proper scholars, knowledgeable leaders, not paid priests, are able to explain and then implement the Quran, which in turn binds the Ummah together as one community. Salat defined. We are now going to put all the previous in perspective by defining the word salah taken from the Dictionary of the Quran by G.A. Pervez. He scoured the dictionaries and the lexicons of the Muslim world and intellectually, rationally presented the Quranic meaning of all the words in it, removing the nonsensical, traditional, devoid of wisdom meaning the deaf, dumb and blind sheep are so diligently following, doing ibadah too.
1. As-salah is the central portion of the backside, the portion from where tail of the animal comes out. Both sides are called salwan and its plural is salawatun, taj. 2. Masali is the horse which comes at second place in a race and is so close to the first place that its ears are touching the other's back portion. The first one is called sabiq. It, therefore, means to follow the first one very closely. There is a saying of Ali the fourth caliph, Sabaka Rasulullah, war Salah Abu Bakr war Salasa Omar war Kabatatna Fitnatan. Rasulullah went away first, by Abu Bakr and then Omar, and thereafter chaos overtook us, Taj. 3. According to Taj, Saliya Wastala means attachment, to remain stuck. From this reference Ragib says that verse 74:43, we were not Musaleen, means that they did not follow the Rasul. Accordingly, Qurtubi also writes that Salat would mean to remain within the bounds of the laws of Allah, and Tasliya means to walk behind a person so closely that there remains no distance, not to surpass him but remain closely behind. For it is very important to understand the relationship of man and Allah. Allah is the one who is supreme, most perfect and most beautiful. He has various attributes called Asma'ul Husna, and each attribute is perfect and complete. Allah has also given a personality to man and referred to it as owner, the divine energy, see Ruh. The object or the purpose of man's life is to develop his personality according to the laws of Allah and inculcate in himself as much of Allah's attributes as may be humanly possible. In the first surah, Al-Fatiha, of the Quran, a mu'min is taught to ask of Allah to guide him to Sirat al-Mustaqim, and that, in fact, should be a mu'min's purpose of life, to tread the Sirat al-Mustaqim all along, the straight and the balanced path. And in the 11th surah, Hud, it is stated that Allah continuously stays at Sirat al-Mustaqim. It transpires from the above that the only straight path a mu'min is required to adopt during the course of his life, is the same at which Allah Almighty Himself is going and running this universe. This path can easily be adopted by closely and steadfastly following the dictates of Allah's book, i.e., the Holy Quran. Hence the basic meaning of Salat is complete concord with the Book of Allah and thereby incorporating in one's own self Allah's most balanced attributes, of course, as far as is humanly possible. In verse 24:41, a question is asked, have you not pondered over the fact that whatever there is in the universe, including the birds with wings spread out, is continuously carrying out their assignments with fullest play of their capabilities, and each one of them knows its sphere of duties, tasbih, and the way those are to be carried out, salat. This obviously means that everything in the universe knows by instinct what are its duties and how to perform them and what is its destiny. As far as animal world is concerned, they do it by instinct. But if a human being wants to know what is his tasbih and salat, it is a must for him to have faith in wahi, through which all these directions containing do's and don'ts are explained. This is iqamat as-salat, a special term used in the Qur'an. To follow the laws of the Qur'an is iqamat as-salat. This is not possible individually and can only be done collectively. That is why the Qur'an has used the plural tense for this. It is the responsibility of an Islamic state is to establish this order, 22:41, and they do it by mutual consultations, 42:38. This system covers all the aspects of life, particularly the economic system. Verse 11:87 is very significant in this regard. It says, O Shu'aib, does your salat not permit us even to spend our wealth as we desire? They did not understand as to what type of salat is one which gives directions even in economic matters. They thought salat is just a prayer or some sort of ritual. In a nutshell, it would pose one simple question. Would a person like to decide his affairs according to his desires, wishes, or would he surrender before the laws of Allah? This later position is called salat. Verse 19:59 further clarifies, they were followed by people who abandoned or negated the salat. Therefore, following the divine laws is called salat. As such, Ibn Qutayba says, salat actually means ad-din and iqamat as-salat means iqamat u-din. 5. As-salah means fire and firewood. Salah asaho al-nar means he straightened and softened his stick by heating it with fire. As such, salat would also mean to remove one's defects. Author of Al-Mina says that salat, in fact, is the recognition that one's personality needs guidance of a superior authority. In this way, Qurtubi says that salat means obedience to Allah. 6. Another meaning of salat is to subdue and arrest and attract someone's attention, muhit. This view would explain another meaning of salat, which is taming and harnessing the forces operative in the universe. 7. One meaning of salat is reverence and respect, taj, i.e., to work for and establish a socio-economic system that proves the greatness of the sustainer of this universe.
The Musallin and Aqimasa Salat.
Man is created with an anxious disposition, despondent when harm touches him, and stingy when good reaches him. Except the Musallin, from Salat, are not the so-called ritualistic praying ones, but those who always follow the divine system, those in whose wealth and possessions is a known right, for him who asks for help, and for him who is deprived, those who have conviction in the day of judgment, and therefore, in the laws of recompense, those who are fearful of their Lord's requital. They know that none can feel secure against their Lord's requital.
Qimas as-salat is a term used to mean establishment of the whole system of our existence, from the political organization to the religious, or there is no division into secularism and religion in Islam, which is ruled over by the laws of Allah, revealed only in the Quran, a complete way of life, Allah given and the only true Islamic deen.
Still, Musallin are also those men and women who maintain their chastity. They have intimate relations only with their spouses, that is, those who are rightfully theirs through wedlock. For such relationship they are free of blame. But anyone who seeks beyond this, those are the transgressors. And Musallin are those who guard their trusts and duties assigned to them, and their pledges, as a shepherd guards his flock. Those who are truthful as witness and stand by their testimony. Those who consolidate and protect the divine system. Musalleen are the ones who collectively build paradise on earth and inherit that in the hereafter. They will be the honored ones dwelling in the gardens of bliss. What then is the matter with the rejectors that they rush to and fro before you, confused? Instead of joining hands, on the right and on the left, in groups, does every one of them hope to enter the garden of bliss with this attitude? Nay. They know with what we created them. They know that humans have been created like other members of the animal kingdom. Intellect and free will make humans different, thus they can strive for the garden of bliss. But nay, I call to witness the Lord of all points in the east and all points in the west, we are able to replace them by others better than they are. And we are not to be outrun. Let them chat and play until they meet their day which they are promised. The day that they shall come forth in haste from their disintegrated states, as if racing toward a goal post. With their eyes subdued in shame, humiliation overwhelming them, such is the day which they were promised again and again. God is great. I bear witness that there is no God except the one God. I bear witness that Muhammad is the messenger of God. Hurry to the Salaat. Hurry to success. God is great. There is no God except the one God.
The Quran Unchained.